It is heavy hitter time. Peter Kadzis of the Boston Phoenix, a man who's never, ever been on the laptop while driving.
That is true. I don't drive.
There you go. Cosmo Macero Jr, Associates, a man still grieving the loss of all that beef on the turnpike yesterday.
Big loss. Big loss.
A man who would have scooped and run had he been in the vicinity.
Have grill, will travel.
That's what I thought. Last night, first Democratic debate for Ted Kennedy's seat. First thoughts, Cosmo?
I think the challengers, the three male candidates, need to start taking some more chances. This is a compressed campaign. It's a short campaign. It certainly makes sense for Martha Coakley to play it safe, and I think she did. And I think she did a pretty good job of that. They got to start taking some chances and get out of the four corners because they got to make a move. They're behind, and I didn't see that last night.
Peter?
I also didn't see any vision or any visionaries. Now, in fairness, if you go back and look at the tapes or the film from the early Ted Kennedy debates, aside from that snarky exchange with McCormick, those were not exactly visionary. But, my God, these people are all backward-looking. They're frozen in the moment in time we're in now. Senators are supposed to be forward-looking.
Well, is it safe to assume that since this is the primary in the Democratic Party, they're playing as hard left as they can, and all four of them are for the same stuff? We got to get in the war now. We got to raise everybody's taxes. We got to cover everybody. We got to punish They're all saying the same thing, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no debate going on.
As if we needed a reminder. We're in Massachusetts. It illustrates that when you've got three of the candidates essentially boasting that they would raise taxes in order to create another stimulus bill, and then spend the money on more government spending, more local aid, and so forth. I found that remarkable that there's no risk in their view of talking about raising taxes.
Well, in an odd sort of way, I think they were right in what they said about taxes, but for the wrong thing. It's not going to be for a second stimulus. This country is facing huge deficits in the future. And some point in the coming years, whichever one of them is elected is going to have to grapple with the issue of either cutting spending, which they're not in favor of, or raising taxes.
I thought the moderator, Peter Meade, actually had the best grasp of that. He was asking the question. I got to say, I lost count on the horse trading references at about 12 or 13. Well, I wouldn't horse trade against Natick and Bedford, but I might horse trade against Natick and Fort Dick. I get it.
Listen,
horse trading goes on, and you understand.
None of these people will have enough seniority to do any horse trading.
Well, by the way, all four of them said they want no more troops in Afghanistan. Well, what happens if Obama says he wants more troops in Afghanistan? Any of these four going to vote against Obama?
Oh, sure, I believe them on that. I believe them on that.
I absolutely do not. What Obama tells them to do, they will do. They're Massachusetts Democrats, Peter.
In Massachusetts Democrats, well, with the exception of John Kerry, back several years ago, tend to be anti-war. That's not a tough stand. And by the way, I applaud them for it.
There's something for principled stands. There's also something for the fact that becomes ancient history when it's early in the campaign and you say that. And the reality of the president pressuring you for a certain vote changes the whole dynamic.
All right, let's get off of that debate because it was a snooze fest, and I think we all agree on that. Let's talk about another snooze fest, or was it the Northwest Airlines pilots who now claim, no, we weren't sleeping, we weren't doing anything untoward or uncivilized. We were on the computer talking about new company policy. Cosmo, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe in this story?
I'm at about a 2.5. I mean, two guys in the cockpit, you got to think, all right, I'm going to rule out the porn. We're talking fantasy football. What are they doing on the laptop for an hour and a half? It's got to be fantasy football or something else. I don't think they're booking flights or whatever they were talking about, scheduling policy or vacation policy.
Oh, come on. Yeah, where was the hero of the Hudson, Pilot Sullenberger, when we really needed them? I don't, if they were checking schedules, that's a pretty lame excuse. At least if this were a Mad Men episode, they'd be chasing stewardesses or something.
I think Northwest and Air India have a work-sharing pool, because Air India, you get the pilots brawling in midair with the flight attendants. And in this
Which would you prefer, your pilots to be throwing punches or to be checking the stats on their players?
I'd get a kick out of the fist fight, but I want them to get back in there and land the plane.
Look, this is an example of how technology, wonderful as it is, can trivialize us all. I mean, my God, these guys are, who needs Osama bin Laden when you've got...
They're ignoring the boss. They're going, not now. We're working on Harry Fitzgerald.
Airline safety has definitely jumped the shark here. It's no longer the terrorists in midair you're going to be worried about, it's the pilots.
Let's talk about something else we got to worry about, a little closer to home up in Revere. Necco, just in time for Halloween, changing the way they make the Necco wafers. No more artificial sweeteners, which we love. Now we got beet juice, cabbage-flavored turmeric, for goodness sakes. Cosmo, is this much ado about nothing, or are you a little bit worried here?
If I'm going to eat a Necco wafer, I probably will opt for a Tums anyways. Nonetheless, does this affect the all-important Sky Bar? If it doesn't, I'm not that concerned about it.
I don't know. I'm holding out for the day when Necco comes out with, say, a tripe-flavored Necco wafer. I mean,
I don't think you people are understanding the gravity of the issue that's in front of us here. This is a New England icon, Cosmo, and out of nowhere, unannounced, they have changed it.
Hey,
But the
listen,
Tums is chewable.
Tums is not a New England product.
I hate to rain on your outrage, but all they're doing is using beet sugar or sugar made from cabbage. It really isn't that big a deal.
So, in my household, and Mrs. Macero is always in pursuit of social justice. Well, this year, you may be aware that most commercially produced chocolate is made in West African plantations with unregulated child labor. This year, we're gonna focus on fair trade friendly treats at our house, and I think.
So what are you giving away?
Chocolate that's not produced with
what?
unregulated child labor. I can't pronounce the actual name of it, but it's available at Whole Foods and other fine retailers.
Note to the kids in the Arlington, Belmont area, house to skip again this year.
I'll slip in a Reese's here and there, but it's fair trade.
Well, come to the Kansas Kelly household in Jamaica Plain, where we'll be giving out teeth-rotting candy. We'll be the dentist delight.
You saved yourself there at the end. Macero, step up for once in that household.
It's a tradition. Lousy treats at our household. It's a tradition.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Hey.
Cosmo Macero, Peter Kadges, they are the heavy hitters.